So this woman, her name is Catherine Knight, and this is her husband, John. She is about to stab her husband, skin him, cook him, and serve him to his kids. So let's go back because Catherine had a messed up childhood. She grew up in New South Wales, and her dad was a violent alcoholic who raped her mom multiple times. And Catherine claimed that several family members SA'd her until she was 11 years old. And at school, Catherine was known as a bully. She'd beat up smaller kids, and she even attacked a boy with a weapon once. And she dropped out at 15, never learning to read or write. And then at 16, she got her dream job working at an abattoir. That's a slaughterhouse, and she loved it. She was amazing with knives, cutting up animals, skinning them. And here's a creepy detail. Catherine kept a set of butcher knives hanging above her bed at home. Now, Catherine had been in relationships before, and they were all violent. She was extremely abusive toward her partners. And then she meets John Price, and they start dating. And at first, things seem okay, but then Catherine starts getting violent with John too. She'd threaten him, she'd assault him, and in February 2000, she actually stabs John in the chest. And John's friends are like, "Dude, you need to leave her or she's gonna unalive you." So finally, on February 28th, 2000, John goes to court and gets a restraining order against Catherine. And that day, he tells his coworkers, "If I don't show up to work tomorrow, it's because Catherine has killed me." So that night, February 29th, 2000, John goes home and Catherine is there. And while John is sleeping, Catherine grabs a butcher's knife and she stabs him. And John wakes up and he tries to turn the light on and he tries to escape. And Catherine chases him through the house, stabbing him over and over. And John manages to open the front door and get outside, but he either stumbles back in or Catherine drags him back inside. And he collapses in the hallway and bleeds out. And John was stabbed at least 37 times. But Catherine isn't done. She then skins John's entire body like he's an animal at the slaughterhouse, and she hangs his skin from a meat hook on the living room doorframe. Then she decapitates him, and she takes parts of his body and she cooks them in a pot with potato, pumpkin, beets, zucchini, cabbage, and squash. And then she plates the food and sets the dinner table with place settings. And at each plate she puts a note with the names of John's children, because she planned to feed them their own father. Then she goes into town and withdraws $1,000 from John's bank account at an ATM. Then she goes back to the house and takes a bunch of pills. The next morning, John doesn't show up for work, so a coworker goes to check on him, and he sees blood and calls police. And police arrive